Okay, let's cut through the haze surrounding one of the world's most talked about plants, cannabis. For literally thousands of years, it's been a source of medicine, industry, and yeah, inspiration. But it's still wrapped up in so much controversy. So let's spend a few minutes separating the real facts from the fiction.
You've probably heard this phrase, right? Puff, puff, pass. It's so simple, but it says so much. It speaks to a whole culture of sharing, of community, a history that wasn't passed down in textbooks, but from person to person, often in the shadows, creating its own kind of lore.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? After decades of propaganda and just general confusion, there's this huge cloud hanging over the whole topic. But now that the world is kind of reevaluating its relationship with cannabis, really understanding the plant is more important than ever. So let's start from the ground up, literally.
To truly get what cannabis is all about, we have to start with the plant itself. Let's get up close and personal with the beautiful, complex structure that makes the entire experience even possible.
Okay, meet the absolute powerhouse of the cannabis plant, the trichomes. They might look like tiny, glistening sugar crystals, but these little glands are actually microscopic factories. They are working around the clock, producing all the compounds that give the plant its famous effects. This right here? This is where the magic happens.
Walk into any dispensary today, and you're going to see these words everywhere: indica and sativa. Now, scientifically, it's a bit of an oversimplification, but it's become the go-to system for managing expectations. Indicas are typically sold for a relaxing full-body effect, in the couch, while sativas are known for a more energizing, heady high. The truth is, most of what's out there today are hybrids, blending traits from both sides of the family.
And here we have the one legal line in the sand that separates two massive multi-billion-dollar industries. Botanically speaking, marijuana and hemp are the exact same plant, cannabis sativa. The legal difference, though? It all comes down to a single number, 0.3% THC. Anything below that line is legally called hemp, used for things like fiber and CBD. Anything over it, well, that's classified as marijuana. So, we've seen the plant's physical structure. Now let's dive into its amazing chemistry. How do all these different compounds actually interact with our bodies to create such a huge range of effects? It's really like a fascinating chemical symphony.
For a very long time, the whole conversation was just about THC content. The higher the THC percentage, the better the product was supposed to be. But science is now showing us a much more nuanced picture. The unique feeling you get from any given strain isn't just about one compound. It's about the way hundreds of them work together.
The main players really fall into two big categories. First, you have the cannabinoids, like THC, that's the primary psychoactive one, and CBD, which is non-intoxicating and known more for its therapeutic uses. Then you have the terpenes, things like the earthy, sedating myrcene, or the citrusy, mood-lifting limonene. These are the aromatic compounds that create each strain's unique smell and flavor, and, as it turns out, they play a huge role in shaping the high.
This orchestra metaphor is just perfect for describing what scientists call the entourage effect. Think of it this way. THC might be the lead violinist, but the terpenes and all the other cannabinoids, they're the rest of the orchestra. They all have to work in harmony to create that final, beautiful symphony, which is the specific feeling you get. A single instrument just can't replicate the sound of the whole group playing together.
All right, so we've looked at the plant and its chemistry. Now let's zoom all the way out and trace its incredible and kind of wild journey through human history. It's a story that spans continents and millennia, from sacred ancient rituals all the way to its classification as a Schedule I drug. This plant has been on a serious roller coaster. For thousands of years, it was revered as medicine, so much so that it was listed in the U.S. Pharmacopoeia by 1850. But then came this dramatic shift. Propaganda films like Reefer Madness kicked off an era of fear, which led to it being classified as a Schedule I drug in 1970, basically shutting down almost all research and use. It's only now really that the pendulum is swinging back, with legalization starting to take hold in 2012.
And that brings us right up to today, the modern green rush. This isn't just about things becoming legal. It's about a full-on explosion of science, innovation, and super sophisticated breeding that is completely transforming the plant and the industry around it.
So, where do the thousands of unique strains we have today even come from? It all starts with breeding, a process that makes modern breeders part botanist, part artist. First, they cross-pollinate two promising parent plants. Then comes the really painstaking part, the pheno hunt. where they might grow hundreds of seeds just to find that one perfect plant with all the right traits. Finally, they work to stabilize those genetics so the new strain can be grown reliably over and over again.
And the result of all that work is this incredible variety of products. I mean, it is no longer just about the classic dried flower. You've got keef, which is a collection of all those potent trichomes we saw earlier. That keef can then be pressed into rosin or processed into powerful extracts, which are then used in vape cartridges and, of course, a gigantic market for edibles. The innovation is just staggering.
You know, with all the focus on potency, it's easy to forget what a cannabis bud is actually made of. We obsess over the active compounds, but they make up a surprisingly small slice of the pie. The vast majority of it is just simple plant matter, cellulose, water, and chlorophyll. It's a really powerful reminder that at the end of the day, it's still a plant.
This chart really shows the impact of all that modern innovation. While a traditional flower might top out somewhere around 30% THC, just sifting it into keef can more than double that potency. And with today's modern extracts, we're now seeing products that are pushing 99% purity. That's a level of potency that was just unimaginable a few decades ago. So we are living through a true renaissance for this ancient plant. For the first time in nearly a century, it's being openly studied, bred, and engineered. As science keeps unlocking the secrets of its chemical symphony and its genetic code, the future isn't just about getting high anymore. It's about custom designing experiences from medicine to recreation. The next chapter of cannabis is being written right now in the lab.